Good day, viewers. It's a cloudy, stormy afternoon. It's been hot all week, unbearably hot. Yesterday was expecting rain. We didn't get it, so I got out here and cut the front yard. It was late in the evening, like 7 o'clock last night when I come out here, but I was done by 8:30 before dark. So I did knock out the front yard. The grass was getting out of control. It's been a very busy week, coming and going. Been doing a lot of coming and going with the insurance companies over the wife's car. We're about to get all that straightened out. I appreciate all my viewers that's been inquiring. Thought I'd get out here in the porch just to do a little bit of a vlog today. Let's see what I need to talk about. Hummingbirds are buzzing around out there. I could make a hummingbird video, but it's threatening to rain any minute. Today's been quite a feeding frenzy for these hummingbirds. I've had quite a bit of footage I've accumulated here with them buzzing around acting crazy. You can't see all the activity because my camera zoomed in fairly close, but I'm sure we captured quite a lot. Remind me sometime to share a story with you about watching a shark feeding frenzy. That's very much what this hummingbird feeding frenzy seems like. But today I'm going to include a voiceover, a vlog voiceover, that you can listen to me carry on the front porch while we watch these hummingbirds buzzing around. And it'll take a bit of editing, try to cut out some of this car noise and stuff. But your comments will be most welcome. And this is going to be a hummingbird frenzy with a car buying vlog voiceover. That sounds about close enough. Probably won't be any close-up shots of them, but they are buzzing around like bees with a stirred up by a bear eating all their honey or something. They've been running in and out of them rose bushes. I think they got some nest in there. I thought I'd talk a little bit about this last week. We've been real busy purchasing a new car and getting things done around here. The experience of buying a new car turns into one big headache. You consider used cars, and you know if you buy a used car, you're buying somebody else's headache. If it was a really good car, they wouldn't have sold it. They got rid of it to start with. So something's wrong with, I wouldn't say all of them, but most of the used cars are going to need things done. Some of these dealerships, you don't know what they might have did to slick them up where you'll come buy it off of them. But we decided best bet was just to get a new car. So we got to shopping around. Hadn't heard from the insurance company at that time. Well, I learned a few things that I didn't know about before. The insurance company paid me a lot less than what I would call the blue book value. You know, you can't look up the blue book value on a car because you got to sign in and give them all your personal information, and all you're going to get is a bunch of people email and you're trying to sell their cars. But anyway, her Ford Escape was listed as being totaled. In other words, the repairs would be more than the car is worth, so they deemed it totaled. So what do? They said we're turning you over to a company called Copart, C-O-P-A-R-T, up in Atlanta. And when you turn all your title and keys and everything into that wrecked car, then we'll settle up with you. They had offered me what they said they were going to pay, and it was about $5,000 shy of what you can go out and buy a car equal condition and mileage. $12,500 was the cheapest one I could find. They knocked off $5,000, and that's what they settled with for me. And well, Copart, you had to download all these forms and electronically sign the titles. And what I need to electronically sign a title, I'm holding the real, actual title right here in my hand. I said, well, we've already you go ahead and electronically sign for it, and then we got to shipping label here. You can stick it in there and mail it to us. I said, well, while I got you on the phone, what are you going to do with that car? You going to pick it up at the body shop, right? She said, yep. I said, well, I still have one of the keys here. I'll turn in the other key to the body shop. I'd have to drive right by there anyway on the way to town. She said, we're going to auction that car off. Now, the whole back of the car is in excellent condition. I mean, like mint condition. She kept her car perfectly clean. The front, the engine had a pipe sticking through the motor. They might could fix the motor up with parts or whatever. Needed all new bumpers and fenders in the front. But what it boils down to, somebody's going to buy that car at auction. They're going to chop off the front of the car and weld it to the front of somebody else's rear end wrecked Ford Escape, and they'll have a whole new car. And I'm laying you money the insurance company will get just as much at auction as what they paid me for the car. So they haven't lost nothing. Plus, for the last 10 years, accident free, I've been paying them thousands of dollars in insurance coverage that didn't turn out to be worth a hill of beans. They did cover $20 a day on my car rental. Car rental, the little small car you can get for $20 a day. I didn't even fit. You can't even get your long legs in the thing. So I had to drive a little bit bigger car. And they put me in that Toyota Camry, which I was able to drive. But it cost me an extra $8 or $10 a day. Well, it didn't take them long to start taking money out of my account. They took out $193 one time, and I had to put down a $50 deposit. Took out another something. Here I've only been in the car a couple of weeks. When I got ready to turn the car in, I told her, I said, we weren't doing too good with these dealers around here. Nobody wanted to treat you fair. Everybody was jacking up the price, extra this and extra that. And I just didn't like some of them's attitude altogether. Ford over here in McDonough could care less. I walked out on him. I think they prejudged you or something. Went to a Honda place and found a Honda that she really liked. Well, he had all kind of stuff added onto the car. Wasn't cutting the snow brake at all. Said, well, I think we can do better than him. So the next day I told her, let's just get out of this town. We drove to Newnan, Georgia, which is 60 miles up the road or whatever, 50, 60 miles. Went in a Honda dealer up there and they treated us right nice. So that's where we bought the car. So they said you could pick it up Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Well, here I am with a rental car. What am I going to do with this stupid rental car? I can't drive up there in a rental car and drive 2 cars back. Turns out there's an Enterprise rental place up there. Well, I looked on my contract and Enterprise had me down on the schedule as bringing the car back to them here in Griffin. I said, that ain't going to work. And it was July the 4th, I believe it was, holiday. I finally got through to a company at Enterprise. I think I was talking to somebody in another country. He had a real strong accent. I think Enterprise is a national organization. And I gave him my zip code and everything. He said, yeah, you can take it back to Newnan. We'll fix it up right here on the computer. I said, well, I'll drop it off at Newnan, and I'll pick up the new car and come back. Went over to the dealer to pick up the new car the next day. And he said, I'm busy right now. If you take that over to Enterprise, they have a shuttle service to bring you back over here. Okay, that'll work. I'll go turn it in over there to them and get them to bring me back. Drove over there and waited in line. They were really swamped and they closed at 2 o'clock. I got there before 2. And the lady said, I just can't, if you wait an hour and a half till I get off, I'll be taking you back over there. I know you won't either. I'm going to take your car back over there to Honda. I'm going to leave it sitting right there at the Honda dealer, and you can come pick it up. So that's what I did. I went back to Honda, got out and gave Honda the keys. I said, lady, you're going to have to come get her car, or y'all can deliver it over there for me. But she said she'd come and get it. We got in the new car and I drove back. She really likes that Honda CRV EX. It's a better model car than the CRV XL. And one better than the EX that we got is the EXL. It's got all the bells and whistles. We got plenty of little bells and whistles on this car too. She likes it a whole lot. I drove it back from Newnan. She's not supposed to be driving a whole lot right now. She drove to Walmart yesterday. I went with her. And then we went a couple other places. Dumped the trash at the landfill. But I think we're going to do real good with this rental car. She likes it a whole lot. What we do like is the fact that we can hook our phone straight to the navigating on the computer and not have to play with this dumb cell phone. A lot of little things that we need to learn how to work on, how to operate that car. But I just came in from doing a cold start on my pickup truck. Probably going to do some work on that pretty soon to get it going. I need to work on my Expedition. There's nothing wrong with it, except it's got a broken window. Still paying insurance on it, so I need to start driving it again. Get around to fixing that window one of these days. The Hummingbirds are still buzzing around like crazy, and I'm thinking I can put some footage in with this voiceover that I'm doing now in relation to the car. Otherwise, you're going to just hear all them cars going by. My camera, my Sony camera, picks up all the noise. GoPro doesn't quite pick up car noise as bad. Anyway, I appreciate my viewers tuning in. I think I'm going to do some work on my Google Maps Railfan video pretty soon. I've been doing quite a bit on that. Just been too awful busy. Listen to birds out there chirping. They're happy as a bug in a rug that it's not 100 in the shade out here. For the first time in a week and a half, it's down in the 70s out here. It's really nice out here. Anyway, I'll cut this little vlog short. Maybe I'll produce it this evening and gather what footage I can from my Hummingbird video out there. Thank y'all for listening, and I appreciate all your well wishes. And Contrary Mary's still wearing her heart monitor. She's got about 5 or 6 more days to wear that. Starting to get irritated from the glue that sticks them thing on your chest to measure your heartbeat. Anyway, viewers, I thank you for listening to my video today. It'd be right appreciative if you reach over there and click the like button on some of my vlogs. Even better yet, hit the subscribe button. Won't hurt my feelings a bit. Y'all have a good evening. This is A Pwalpar saying, y'all take care.
Video